whoa, I didn't know I could do that. Cool. Ooh. So yeah, your lunch started early today. What's for lunch? Are you actually going to be eating anything, or are you just taking a break? Welcome back to the screen. Have you been? Well, that's good to hear. Oh, it's good to hear that you're doing your best. I'm sorry it's overwhelming, though. Why overwhelming? What's going on this week? Ooh, you're right, you Sardia. Granny conflicts. That does sound like a lot, Ava. You know, something that I've struggled with in the past is, being somebody like you, Ava, who's very busy, has a lot of things to do. Sometimes when you have people visit, I hope this isn't your guest, but sometimes it can occasionally be my guest. They're not exactly sensitive to when you say you're busy, what that means. I think most people think when you say you're busy, that means uh, you have some things to do, but you still should be able to have time to talk and entertain. And if you don't, you're being rude. I don't know. I've definitely had that though. I've had it where it's like I've had like 2 shows lined up, and it's a holiday, and I have to work my job, and I still have to do things like stream. But I have somebody that's staying with me in LA because they wanted to visit LA, and they're like, "Omni, let's go to Disneyland. Let's go to Universal Studios." And then they don't quite get it. They don't quite get it when I'm pretty busy. Hello, Mixie is back. I have seen a DVD screensaver in the corner. Well, no, it was a computer screensaver. I don't know if that counts to you, um, Alvin, but I have seen that. Hi, Mance. Let go and do the fun thing. Tell it to my landlord, I guess. Yo, I actually have a friend like that. I have a friend like that that does. It's like anytime my PS4 is on, he's always adding me to come play Apex with him. And it's just weird because like there's never any prior conversation mentioning playing Apex together or anything. It's just like I can't play video games all the time. I can't just jump into an indefinitely long Apex squad session when you haven't asked me what I have even going on that day. Anyways, whatever. I relate to that. You're trash at Apex. Sometimes being trash at Apex can be fun anyway. Oh, hi, Leanne. I gave it up. Oh. I guess I don't play as often as I used to. Well, have a good day at work, you say. was Spring Street. I guess there were some slight variations added. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp asked Cosmix. Does anybody play Animal Crossing Pocket Camp? That's the one on the phone, right? Gave up since it was time consuming, says Leanna. Hmm. I mean, I guess. Yes. I guess yes. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, this is not doing it. This facial hair, I'm. What is today? Thursday? Maybe I'll shave tomorrow? Either tomorrow or Saturday. God, my neck is killing me. Goodbye, Yesenia. Yeah. It's almost like that. It's not bad. Something so weird, but the thing I end up doing a lot is trying to relearn my own songs. That almost seems right. I don't think Rachida can hear me. Or Rashida. Rashida or Rachida, whichever one it is. I don't think they can. I don't know if they can hear the stream. But thank you for being here. Whoever he is. I tried playing double Lutz and like I tried playing double Lutz in the Rhodes sound, and it didn't sound as good. Uh, you can't play any song in any sound. Well, you can in practice, but there's something about the quality of how dense double Lutz is that when I play it in Rhodes piano sound, I think it's because Rhodes piano sustains a lot longer, and so it gets kind of muddy really quickly at the very beginning. Honestly, Leanna, I don't remember playing it with the window guy. Oh, I mean with him working on the window, like just with the sound of hammers in the background. Yeah, that was a time. That was a time for sure. I have a fixed window now, though. I'm getting a lot better at playing this song, but I want to get to the point to where it comes out as like almost mundanely natural as Spring Street does, where I don't really have to think about it. I still have to think about this song while I'm playing it a lot of the time, or else it gets messy. Because I feel like once I get to the point where it's so easy that it's almost boring, I'll probably be able to add something a little bit more complicated to it. But at this point, it's like it takes so much of my concentration just to play it correctly that I don't really have any extra resources to make it more complicated. Ava's first song they learned on piano was Puff the Magic Dragon, and they asked me what mine was. My first song on piano. My first song on piano was probably something that I made, but whatever it was isn't a song that I still play. It's not. It was like one of my earlier songs. A lot of my early songs that I was making on piano, I didn't have the resources to record them with, so they kind of got lost in the wind, if that makes sense. Oh, hello, Igor. Somebody from Russia. Yeah, when I first started playing keyboard, Ava, it was a lot of like me sounding things out that I was hearing, but not like full-fledged songs. And it was like me trying to come up with things from my own imagination, like coming up with notes and filling them out. It was a very frustrating time because I didn't have the skill set or just the basic knowledge on keyboards, about keyboards to really actualize all of the things that I was hearing in my head, all of the things that I thought, oh, it would be cool if a song sounded like this, but how do I make this come out of this? I didn't really have that. So a lot of my earlier songs were very frustrating. I occasionally will still run into those dead ends where it's like, oh, hello, mushroom tea. But I will occasionally still run into those dead ends where I can't really. I'm hearing a thing in my head and I just don't know how to play it. Sometimes I'll be hearing a chord. I've gotten a lot better where now I seem to only hear chords that I know exist. If that makes sense. When I'm writing music, I'm only hearing chords that I know I can play, I can figure out. There are times where I hear other people play music where I'll hear a chord and go, oh, that was weird. I don't know what the heck that was. But usually from my own imagination, I'm only really coming up with chords that I know what they are and how to get to them and what they sound like. Ava just took a book of chords and Puff was in there. That's kind of cool. Mm, mm, mm. I don't know. I don't know. Here's over and under. Now that I add that third part to it, it's almost finished. It's funny because when I say something's almost finished, it could still take like 6 months. Goodbye, Mans. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Wow, that's gonna take some practice. Oh man, well, always practice, right? Oh, I'm so close. I'll explain what I'm trying to do after I finish the song. trying to do this. I'm trying to. Okay, so the chords for this song are. And I'm trying to get from here to here with walking up the bass line. Trying to get from here to here by walking the bass line up from here to here by going dun, 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 dun. So essentially I'm trying to have the chord progression go. Which is not hard. It's just hard for me to do this while doing. Because I just tried to do it just now. I didn't practice that. I was just like in my head while I was playing this time. I was like, oh, what if we try to do that? And then my hand said no. My hand said no, thank you. Interesting. Hello, is it Jacinto? Whoa, did you ever play Gears of War by any chance? NTA says, how about Gubamage? Hello, NTA. Welcome to the stream. I do not know music theory, but I hope you're having a pleasant Thursday. Clearly, you do. Closing that gap, basically. Yes, Cosmic. See, closing that gap. Times when doing I don't know if this is how you're supposed to do it. I don't know if this is good practice. I just know this is the way I practice. But when there's two parts that are difficult for me to play at the same time, I will learn them as one movement. Right? I'm gonna make a DDR reference, so I hope somebody besides Leanna is gonna get this, but in DDR, there's only 4 arrows that can show up. Left, right, up, and down. Those are the only options. Unless we're getting into like air moves, but we're not. Not right now. We're not gonna do that because this is a limited analogy. So there's only 4 arrows that can possibly show up. And a lot of people think that they're reading all the arrows. Maybe you are, if you're playing on light or if you're playing on one of the beginner modes. But once you get into the heavier, more difficult modes in the dancing game, you have to read the arrows kind of in chunks. Kind of like how you read words on a page, which now I'm realizing would have been a better analogy because more people read than play DDR. But both examples work, right? You're not reading every single letter of every word. You're reading chunks of letters that you've gotten accustomed to seeing. So instead of when you read the word swing, oh, that's perfect. I'm sorry, I'm just reading the keyboard. There's like a little swing and jazz section on the keyboard. But if you're reading the word swing, I don't think you're actually reading S-W-I-N-G. We've seen ing so often in words that we just kind of know it's ing. And so it's kind of, our brain just goes S-W and then this one letter, which is ing. We already know S-W sound because of words like swish, or swatch. Remember swatches? Swung, swing. I guess there isn't a lot of SWs. Swill. Remember swill? Anyways, you're reading things in chunks, not each letter. Yes, exactly, Leanna. It's like when you mix up stuff. That happens. So, that being said, when playing DDR, instead of reading every arrow as it comes up, that can be impossible if you're playing in harder difficulties. So what your brain will do is go left, down, up, right. I know what my body needs to do to hit a left, down, up, right. It's kind of like this nice little like jog motion. Left, down, up, right, and it even shows up as a diagonal line. So at a certain point, you're not even reading arrows anymore as much as you're looking at shapes. So a diagonal line this way means 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want to get into all of the combinations, but there's a limited amount of four arrow combinations that can show up, you know. Left down, right down. You can kind of turn your body sideways and do kind of like a pivot run in place to do the left down, right down, left down, right down. Left down, upright is, again, that jogging, like a two-step jog. Again, I don't want to get too deep into this, but the point is you're not reading arrows individually, you're reading chunks of them as one solid movement. So, with music, a lot of the times it's very difficult for me to play a left hand thing and a right hand thing. This happens in a lot of my music where I have independent motion, like what is it called? Into Thin Air. Hold on, let me get to the part. I'm not there yet. Okay, so here it is. Here it. So I am hitting, I mean, the same amount of notes with my left and right hand, but they're not the same note. It's not the same note. It's a harmony kind of what I'm playing with my right hand. So in order for me to play this, I've remembered this as one thing, not two hands doing two different things. I've memorized it as my hand going like that. My hands are moving in conjunction to one another. So it's not so much matching the two hands. It's like my hands are like linked into the same track and doing the same thing, and then I break it away to do this. I don't know if you've been in streams where I've tried to play just the left-hand parts of songs, but if you have, I know Leanna is somebody that has, and maybe even you too, Cosmo. Like, see, maybe you've been around that long too. But there will be some times where I'll just try to play the melody of something. Wow, I wasn't expecting to have trouble that early, but usually Winterheart will give me trouble if I'm just trying to play one of the hands. I can play it if I gave much time into it, but the point is, playing Winterheart with one hand is difficult for me because Winterheart is a complicated song with left and right hands, so I have learned them in conjunction to one another. And I don't have to play them very slowly because my brain and my body registers it as one movement, and not the right hand doing melody and the left hand doing chords. It's just one combined 10-finger hand doing a song. Now, even if I were to do the left hand of Winterheart, that's pretty good. See, now I can't even play with my right hand. Point is, I've memorized them all as one hand motion. My hands are one hand in that song. And so the more complicated the song is, the more is going on with each hand, the more I have to rely on combining those two actions into one solid motion, kind of like walking. We think of walking as one motion instead of the, left foot out, and then picking up the right foot, and then moving your hands to kind of coordinate with the opposite leg so that you're balanced. You're not really thinking of that while you're walking anymore because you've done it so many times that now you can walk and say read at the same time, or walk and use your phone, or walk and do a yo-yo, walk and eat. You're delegating it to one solid motion. So, wow. Okay, so, anyways, for over and under, I'm trying to get from this thing. I'm trying to walk that up while also doing it. And so the only way I'm going to be able to do that is by playing it slowly focus on it, and try to memorize this as one solid motion, so it's no longer this and this. It's just one solid thing. I'm getting better at it already. Yeah, see, what the heck. Anyways, point was, I didn't practice that. I came up with the idea to do that while I was playing the song, and I realized, oh, you're not going to be able to do this. You're going to have to slow down and actually learn it as one solid movement. Which now I think I have. Yeah, what the heck? Screw it. Anyway, also, a thing that I think is not particular to me, I think it's pretty natural and a lot of people do it. I tend to speed up exponentially when I am excited in a song. And unfortunately, excitement can be positive or negative. So if I mess up or get basically any time my blood pressure has risen. So if I've just done a part in a song correctly, like some of you will remember in Double Lutz, there was a part in Double Lutz that was very difficult for me to play regularly, and it was because it was the newest addition to the song, which is the part of the song that goes like this. If I had done that part correctly, I would get so excited that I would speed up into this part, which is very difficult, and I would end up messing up the song, which would then like make me panic a little bit and speed up even more. The the very natural thing to do when you're playing a song is to speed up. People talk about there's like a whole like essay on the art of rushing or rushing a beat. It's mostly for drummers, but I think that it's applicable to any musician, where it's like as you're playing a thing, if you know it, your body kind of wants to rush through it, rush through the activity where it's like, oh, I know what's next, I know what's next, I'm not having trouble, this is very easy. In the same way that people will speed more so if they're on a road that they're comfortable driving on than if they are on a road where they don't know what's going on. Or maybe if they don't know where they're going, they don't know what the next turn is, they're going to slow down because they're not sure of themselves. There's like insecurity there. But when you are comfortable on a road, it's a road you've driven many times, or you know exactly where you're needing to go, you will drive faster. I'm not saying that everybody here is speeding, but I'm saying just faster versus slower. You're going to drive faster than you would if you were insecure, unsure of what to do. Same thing happens in my music or anyone's music. When I'm playing a song where I know the song, it's actually it's a conscious effort for me to slow myself down while playing it. This is only something that I had to do recently. I had to kind of like get a stranglehold on it. If you remember, even in the song Double Lutz that we were talking about, now when I climb up to this part, I go into this part slowly. Now that is, one, a stylistic choice, but two, it's actually an important thing for me to do for myself because later on in the song, it does get fast. It does get fast. But if I start this part fast, I'm already up here. So to get faster, I have to go to this kind of like almost circus-like speed, which isn't fun necessarily to play, and I think it doesn't do the music justice. I mean, things can be fast, but sometimes taking a song and just speeding it up unnecessarily can like, for me personally, sometimes it can not ruin but dampen the effect or impact of the song, because it's just a bunch of notes being thrown at you and you're not really given enough time to appreciate the harmony or whatever in the song. So I've been doing a lot of like forced slowdowns in my songs, like writing them in so that they're almost like part of the song, where I know that once I get up to that part, I'm like, okay, break, and then go slowly into the song. That way I can gradually speed up. And when I gradually speed up, I'm still at a normal tempo, versus if I went and I started fast, there's not really a lot of room to speed up. And if I speed up that fast, it's ruined. It's trash. It's filth. So, um, I noticed the tempo changes, even within this song. Yeah. Especially with this song. There are a lot in this song. I've tried to put tempo changes in, um, beneath the beneath the city. Jesus, into thin air too. Into thin air has a part that goes kind of fast, and then here slow down. That song does a lot of like ramping, slowing down, and speeding up. Fast, 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 slowing down, speeding up, slow, fast, fast, slow, fast. Yeah, it just does a lot of this. Um, so adding like a lot of tempo changes into a song, it can be important to me because I'm going to speed up no matter what when I'm playing a song. I don't need to worry about that. The speeding up will happen, but if I add in automatic slows down, slowing down, it kind of resets me. I don't know how every other musician works, but this is a problem that I have had for many years. So slowing myself down, allowing myself to kind of naturally speed up because I know the song, and then slowing myself down again, allowing myself to naturally speed up, slowing myself down. And for songs like Beneath the City, right, that are really flourishy, or this one, that song, Around the Pond, all those songs are very like very classically colored, and so they're really pretty, and so they benefit from a lot of the tempo changes. Maybe if I was doing something like just one of the acoustic renditions of my songs, like what is this one? Close down. Maybe I wouldn't be giving it that much justice to do a lot of slow downs and speed ups, but I think that I do want to put those in my songs a lot more because the only time I really play a song appropriately slow is if I'm having trouble with it, and that shouldn't be the case. That shouldn't be the case. It's art. Okay. What was I gonna talk about? Oh, speaking of slow, I'll say this and then we can move on because I need to go over news. Flight Plan has tons of those. If you think about Flight Plan might be tied with Into Thin Air for one of my most dynamically played songs. Not dynamic note wise. Into Thin Air blows this song out of the water, but there is a lot of pauses in Flight Plan. There's a lot of like when you think about the first hook loses the bass completely. So the bass is here throughout the beginning of the song. You can hear it down there, and that's just to kind of give it like more strength. And then it comes back the bass. But then when you think about when I get to the first hook or the first chorus of the song, I lose the bass completely. Then I bring it back. I repeat the same thing with bass this time. And so there's that. Also, all of this has tempo changes. When I get to the first break, this is a tempo change. Everything gets a lot slower. Thank you, Mixie. It's just three notes. The bass. Flight Plan. I'm still pretty proud of that song. That song was a lot of fun. I hope to make a song like that this year too. Flight Plan is a very specific song. I don't know how to describe these songs, guys, but they're a group of songs I have that are like Bon Bon, Flight Plan, most of Nice Dream. I guess I don't do that many of them anymore, but it's kind of like this tons of noise, tons of foley, but it's all in the sake of harmony. Voices coming in here and there, like a really playful sound. A sound, I mean, I don't like bringing this artist up, but a sound that has been compared to Pogo a lot, and I am not mad at that comparison. I understand where people are coming from with that. Pogo in the blue shirt, Day Day Mouse. There's a lot of artists that have that kind of energy, and I don't know where I got it. Well, I know where I got it from. I just think it's funny that so many artists have arrived at that same kind of sound. Now, I'm gonna try to take the glare off of the camera for news. News. Guys, I have 2 new albums out. People have come to the stream before and asked if I would sing in the stream, or more so just said, do you sing? Pogo hasn't put out stuff in a while, says Leanna. Pogo has not put out stuff in a while. Well, Pogo hasn't put out any music in a while. Pogo has put out a lot of very divisive political views. But no, there hasn't been any new music. Yeah, Joshua. I don't know what the last thing you listened to was, Joshua, but I have an album called Ego Death, which is ambient works. I used to do exercises and ambiance if you were in the Instagram streams late at night. And for them, I would do... I'll do a really quick example. If there's batteries even in this thing, there aren't. I will not do a quick example. I got up and got it. Omni, have follow through. It's not that hard to have follow through. You're in your room already. People aren't going anywhere. You have a keyboard. Just play the thing. The whole reason you have so many keyboards is so that they're accessible to you. So, what's the point? Anyways, I'll give a quick example of my exercises and ambiance. For those of you that have listened to Ego Death, this will sound familiar. For those of you that have not, this may still sound familiar. Maybe you just saw one of my Instagram videos. So, this is a Yamaha MX, this is a Yamaha Reface EP. It is a kind of like a Rhodes piano emulator. I'm not going to get into all the stuff on it because I do a breakdown in my gear tour on Instagram. And this is not Instagram, and this is not a gear tour. But the important thing about it is it has analog delay, which can be tweaked to be an infinite delay. How about that, huh? So what I used to do is do something like this. I would play like a note there, a note there, a note there, a note there, and a note there, and then some notes down here. And then I would let that ring out while I did And I would just play chords over whatever ambient mess came out of there. It's so much fun. I actually want to kind of start doing this again. Anyways, I could do this for like an hour, but I'm not gonna do this for the rest of the stream. Yeah, yeah, cause you get it, you get it. That comes from the theory, not the theory, but the technique I had of, or the technique a lot of people have of playing the same chord and playing a different bass line. I did cover this in a previous stream, cause, but playing the same chord, but playing different bass lines to make the chord sound different. That's just three notes right there, and that changes the chord enough. And so I was like, what if I, instead of taking and what if instead of taking the same chord and doing different bass lines, what if I did a a a different grouping of notes and did different chords under them? Because if you've listened to my Christ, sorry guys, this is going over. This is going over, but I promise I'm going to wrap it up really, really quickly. If you listen to my remixes that I do, for example, the most recent remix that I did, which was Khalid's Talk, that song, the melody is. But you can kind of play that melody under a variety of different chords. This is called reharmonization. I'm not going to go over all of it in its depth, but you can have that be the first chord. That could be one chord progression. Or you could have different chord progression. Maybe you could walk it up. Or you can get into weird stuff like I was doing, where I was doing. Anyways, you can do a lot of different chords on top of a melody to kind of change the character of that melody. And the exercises and ambience were like, if I do not a melody or not a bass line, if I take just a bunch of, if I take two notes, like, oh man, if I take two notes like, if I go like this. So it's only two notes. I can put chords under them. Just maybe those two chords. But if I added more notes, I could still do the same thing. What if I add even more notes? Anyways, again, this is going forever. It's just taking the same notes and recontextualizing them. Um, oh, hello, Sam. Sorry, I missed some stuff, I guess, in the chat while I was going over this nonsense. Cause yes, the piano chords change the mood of the smaller one, and HB says it was fantastic when you visited Club Soap and Soul. Oh, hi HB Kim. Yeah, Soul was great. I still have my Soul shirt. I'm not wearing it right now, but I wore it last night. That was great. I'm gonna have to come back to Korea because that was. I know every musician says like that was the best show I've ever played, or that was one of the best shows I've ever played. So I'm not gonna use that terminology. I will say that the show in Korea was one of the most surprising shows I've ever played. I did not know that people would. I did not know one that I had that many fans in Korea, and two, I did not know that the people that didn't know me were going to react or respond so favorably. Um, so yeah, I would love to come back there. Sam says I never thought of using an ambiance as an exercise. Honestly, neither had I until I got this keyboard because infinite delay wasn't. I don't have delay pedals, so the idea of looping is one thing. Infinite delay and looping aren't necessarily the same to me because looping feels a little bit more rigid, while infinite delay feels more loose. For ambient stuff, it's nice because I can never really get the same exact sound out of there because nothing is being quantized. So it allows me to do a lot of like one of a kind noises. Whereas if you listen to Ego Death songs, especially like Atlantis, if you listen to Atlantis, that was all done with that analog looping technique. I used to write music when I worked with people live, or with off other people doing ambient. Finding the jam is such a great idea. Absolutely, since I am just kind of alone in my room with a bunch of keyboards, doing a lot of looping can kind of recreate the feeling of working with other musicians, which I come from bands. I've played in 6 bands, and that is where I got, I would still say, the majority of my musician training and experience. So it's nice to be able to recreate that. I am so hungry, guys. I walked to the movie theater last night after working on some stuff, and I saw Bad Boys 3, and it was nice. I really liked it. They're clearly going to make a Bad Boys 4. I I kind of went into this one hoping slash thinking that it was going to be the last one. It was going to be like this last hurrah, but I guess they're keeping it going. But I did enjoy it. However, I walked home pretty late at night and nothing was open. And it was one of those things where everything that was open was a little too far away or would drive through only. So if I wanted to get food, because I don't have any groceries right now, I was going to have to walk all the way home and then get in the car and drive somewhere. And I just didn't have the energy. And so I ended up just going to bed hungry, and I'm feeling it now. It's like I can feel my stomach doing the thing where it growls, but they're very painful growls. Anyways, this song is called Hush Hour. I wrote it actually right after I left Korea on that tour, and it's the song that I end every stream with. But I just realized I can't do that song because I have to go over the news. So a really quick lightning round of news is I have 2 new albums out. One is called Ego Death, which is ambient, does exercises and ambiance like I just went over. The other one is called Quick Breath, which is a dance and upbeat, 125 to 150 BPM oriented EP. They can be found on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon MP3, Tidal, Groove, Deezer, Pandora, Napster, and YouTube, which we are on right now. So if you want to hear any of those songs, you can just go search them up on YouTube. I also have music videos for Hush Hour, for Into Thin Air, for all of my songs on Less Stream that I have recorded and released on this platform. As far as merch, I do have shirts coming out this year. As far as merch, I do have stickers as well coming out this year. As far as shows, I do have some shows that I'm booked for, but none that I'm allowed to talk about, so I can't announce the shows. And as far as streams, you're here. It's a little after 10 a.m., at least here in LA, which means I've been streaming for about an hour and 15 minutes because the stream starts every weekday morning at 9 a.m. Today is Thursday, which means that tomorrow is the last stream of the week. So I hope to see you in tomorrow, but if I don't, I hope you have a good weekend. Getting right back into it, this is a song called Hush Hour, and it is the song that I end the streams with because it's short. Goodness gracious. Leanna was paying attention. Hello, Mariah. Again, thank you everybody for being in here. But foremost, thank you for being respectful to me and polite to each other. Um, I have actually never played a Dragon Quest game, Hadoka Bro, but I do love Akira Toriyama, so I have thought about it several times. It's just hard for me to play the traditional JRPGs anymore. They take up a lot of time, and I do not like turn-based battle systems. No, thank you. Goodbye, Leanna. Thank you for being in the stream, and thank you again for naming the song Double Dutch, which I love playing, and I do love the name. I do love the name a lot, so thank you. All right, that's it, everybody. That's it. That's the entirety of the stream. I'm so hungry and so tired now. There's a Netflix movie of Dragon Quest. What the heck? Is it just an anime then? I can't get deeper. I will see you guys tomorrow for the stream. I will be here at 9 a.m. Thank you for being polite to me and respectful. But the other way, respectful to me and polite to each other. I'll see you here for the Friday stream, the last stream of the week. Abo, everybody. I can't even reach it. What the heck? HB Kim says, can you play the part of the Bad and Bougie remix? The stream is over, HB Kim, but it's just 3 chords. So, yeah. You're welcome, HB Kim. And for Adventure Boy, who just got here, the stream started almost an hour and a half ago. It starts at the same time, 9 a.m. every morning. Hopefully I will be able to see you in one, punctually and politely. I will, everyone.